This is gonna be a different sort of video. So a while ago, I started trying to make money off of my 3D printing. How that's going, you might ask? Well, not particularly well, as you can see here. So I knew that I needed to try something else.
There are thousands of 3D printed products on Etsy that are producing
thousands of listings on
Etsy. So
Etsy.
you're gonna learn some about
Etsy. You know, there's a bunch of people.
Okay, so from here on out, this video will be super duper candid. Why? Because to be honest, I'm still working on the project as we speak. This way it'd be more sort of realistic as to what really happens behind the scenes and making this all kind of happen. If we turn the camera around, I'm actually still working on the project itself. Essentially what we're working on is making cat name tags. Luna, we've been training her to go outside. We're hoping to bring her out in the summer or in the spring. So I thought this would be a good idea to make and then also to sell. But the main problem that I've actually come about is that my 0.2 nozzle is not really working properly. Every time I try to print something, it just gets clogged. That's the situation, and we're gonna go fix the nozzle. So let's go. I honestly think I messed up when I bought the nozzle. I don't know if it's because it's third party. It keeps on getting clogged, or it's just my setting. At this point, I'm not really clear yet. I think I need to try one more time because the 0.4, it's just not working out for me. So this is the one that I got from Amazon. As we can tell, it's currently extruding, which is great. Last time the problem came when it switched over to this blue filament right here. That's when it started clogging and it said that it couldn't get the filament out. I've been working on this since the morning. Every time it's come up with an error, and I guess if it happens again, so you'll see the error, and that's where the video will end. After watching endless amounts of YouTube videos on 3D printing and Etsy itself and like selling things on Etsy, I figured a few things out that hopefully helps me and then also helps you if you're interested in doing something like this. So the first thing is using Everbee or eRank. I found a video on YouTube that someone was using Everbee. I researched a little bit about what it was essentially, and now we're here. eRank and Everbee are platforms that tell you trends, keywords, and sales or whatnot. It's not completely accurate, but it gives you a good idea of what's going on, and it kind of summarizes everything in one place. The main thing that I think is interesting is keywords, so literally understand what's selling, what isn't, and making decisions on what to sell. For example, originally I wanted to still go with the idea of using mailbox nameplates, but I realized that's actually not something people even look for on Etsy. So to be honest, this wasn't really something that I could probably sell well. The next thing that I also found interesting on a YouTube video, it was someone talking about the idea of selling holiday items or seasonal items only. If you have a month to prepare in advance, you could probably get everything that you need to get for the promotional material. I saw things like Easter nameplates, like personalized stuff, works really well right now. So there's some merit to that, and I'm sure when you sell during like Valentine's Day or Christmas, these are like big holiday events that probably gain a lot of sales. So that's probably something that I will try later on, but not Easter because I think I'm already a little too late for that. So I had to forego that and try something else. Final thing that I learned is that ads are everything on Etsy. If you don't run ads, you're probably wasting your time. I'm not really sure how much it costs to run a campaign. I've never tried it myself yet, as you can tell. But if you're a seasoned Etsy seller, please let me know actually, because if you don't mind sharing info, I'm trying to learn more about it and seeing what I can do. Because I know for things like meta ads, there's a certain amount you have to send before you get a return, and I'm guessing this is something similar. Oh. That's the error. I knew this was gonna happen.
Wait, did you change the nozzle?
Yeah, I changed it back.
You're still not working?
No. There's a problem with the base layer. The next problem is it says unable to feed filament into the extruder. This could be due to tangled filament or stuck spool. If not, please check if the AMS tube is connected. So, the way that I've tried to fix this in the past was essentially what I do is first I would take this out. I pull a little thread, and you can see on the filament itself after you pull it out that I'm not sure you can see it on camera, but there's like biting points that the machine's tried to bite it into it, but it's not feeding into it. So what I do usually, I cut a little bit of it. I cut a little bit, and then essentially I feed it back in, hoping that it will work. Now this worked when I used the when I was using the 0.4 nozzle. So hopefully this works now. I'm gonna retry. One thing I will say, I thought was weird. Whenever it comes out initially, it comes out as 2 strands instead of 1, which I always thought was weird. Oh my god, it just might work. But the base layer is so fucked up. Nope, it's absolutely fucked. Okay. Good news is, it seems to have worked. Bad news is, I think I forgot to put supports in. So, the supports did not print at all. And it just does this now. There you have it. Currently, this is what's going on. The print seems to be working better. It seems to be printing now. We have to wait. It's done in about 30 minutes, so I'll check on it then. There's a few other ideas that I wanted to get working on in terms of making and also just seeing what I can do with it. But to be honest, all of them do require the 0.2 nozzle. So that is really gonna be a limitation if it doesn't work out. Yeah, it's not where I wanted to end up today. I really was hoping to be able to have all this sorted and had things photographed and printed by now, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen unless this works out. Yeah, a little disappointing. I was really hoping to do a little more, but I think there's a little more problems that happened that I wasn't accounting for. Basically with the nozzle, what had happened was I think a piece of filament got stuck in there. I tried to pull it out. It didn't come out, and I wrecked the actual piece of filament. So it's just stuck, and I threw it out. What I ended up doing, I thought after a while, was I'm just gonna move on to a different project or a different product that I could potentially sell that I wouldn't have to use the 0.2 nozzle. So work with what I got instead of buy something new again, because I'm already not making money off of this. I'm trying to make money, and there's no point taking the loss before making money. Something that I looked on eRank, it suggested these things. These are Bad Buddies. It's a relatively smaller market. We're gonna be making 2 more versions of them. Right now, the steps that I have left to do are 1, finishing the preparations for the product, so actually printing all 4. One of them is printing on the way, and I'm going to design the last one right now. Photographing them and making sure that I have the Etsy listing and all the graphics and all the things that I need. While one of them is printing right now, I am going to design the last one. Hey, oh my god, it is fucking late now. It is 7 right now. The listing is finally up. I forgot to record everything. As soon as I started picking up momentum, recording and filming, I just decided to, you know what, I will just finish it out and record afterwards, which is now. We have our finalized tags. So I only printed 4 because that's all I really needed to do. What was hard was really just making sure all these things were standardized. Once I had all the designs out of the way, my goal was really to photograph and make videos of the product itself, right? One thing that really surprised me was using AI to make photographs. There was an update to ChatGPT and how you could use GPT-4 to conceptualize, and that's what I did. And the results are pretty bizarre in the sense that they are so good that it scares me. There are hints of AI, to be honest, like some of the physics don't make sense. but it's good enough that you will probably get better results than what other people are doing right now. Because I think this is still relatively new. This happened last week. I tried to ask for a few graphics based on other competitors that I see, and then also based on what I kind of wanted in terms of design. It didn't do that well, so I ended up just making my own graphics. So there are limitations to it, but still very, very crazy that you could create such results like at a click. It takes some prompting, it takes some understanding of what to do, but honestly, it's not that hard. It took me like an hour to figure out. After I had all the photography done, I shot like a quick video while the sun was still there, and just wanted to showcase the product as best as I can in a very simple way so that people can kind of see hands-on how it looks like if you move it around and stuff like that. Now, putting it up on Etsy, this was something that I definitely struggled with, and it was made easier a little bit because with E-Rank you can kind of see what other people's tags are, and I think that's the most important part. If you take anything away from listing things up on Etsy from this video, is just look at what your competitors are doing. What I did was I looked at who was getting the most sales, and from that, what tags are they using, and using those tags for what I'm doing. One thing that surprised me that I didn't really realize until I was making the listing was you can only have 2 variations. With my listing, I wanted to make 3. I wanted to make a size variation, a font variation, and a color variation, and I had to only be able to do 2. But what I ended up doing was in one of the images in my listing, I said that, hey, if you want to choose a font inside the personalization, you can just write a number and that will be the font. Putting up the listing took more time than I thought. I thought it was going to be really easy, but there's so much things to fill out that it takes a lot of time. Last thing, Etsy ads. It was actually quite simple. You kind of just turn on Etsy ads and then it's a button, and then they ask you how much money you want to put it in. And I said, okay, this much. And they were like, okay, we'll take your money. So I guess I have Etsy ads. I think I messed up by turning it on at this time of day. I think I'm supposed to turn it on tomorrow morning. But I mean, it is what it is. I turned it on already. I'm not gonna turn it off, so it's whatever. And we'll see how that goes. But I'm happy to say that I think I have at least somewhat succeeded. Do I think that this will work? I hope it does. I really hope so. But doesn't mean that I'll stop here. I'll probably be experimenting with a few other products too, but I think that can come down the line. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. It's a little different this time because it's way more, I guess, vloggy. If you liked the video and you found it helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you like it and if you comment and also follow or subscribe for more. It really helps the channel, especially if you click that bell button, I think. And one last thing I really wanted to mention was thank you all for those who have signed up for my newsletter. My newsletter should have released today as well. Really thank you guys for reading that and subscribing to that. I will update you as soon as I get the sale. Yeah, see what happens, and I'll update you guys. Peace. Bye.